My name is Felix Mwenda and this is FM Update Show, and right now we are looking at current stories that have made headlines in the country, and one among many stories that we have been looking at is in regards to the demonstrations in the country and something that happened yesterday evening where the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga together with this team, the AZIMIO UMOJA team, came ahead to call off the demonstrations that were slated to happen tomorrow on Wednesday. Which is the reason why Raila Odinga called off the demonstration and asking, do you think that there will be any more demonstrations in the country? This is what happened. And let me tell you, Raila Odinga is not going back to the streets again. He has given up. RUTO together with these CS Kithure Kindiki, Defense CS Aden Duale, and the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have hit the nail on the head. There is nothing that Raila Odinga is going to do no more. Raila he has withdrawn himself from protesting and from trying to make any point. Here is how everything began. The first demonstrations that took place 2 weeks ago, from that, the president warned Raila Amolo Odinga. He told Raila Amolo Odinga, it's now that you will realize that I rule this nation. It's now that you will realize that I'm the president of the Republic of Kenya. So how dare you not try to go to the demonstrations this coming Wednesday, because the demonstrations were slated for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You know, last week from Wednesday, people did not go to work, children did not go to school. Everything in Nairobi stopped for the demonstrations, and the police were there to deal with the demonstrators. Now let me tell you what happened. When Ruto warned Raila Odinga, Ruto went ahead to call the Interior CS Kithure Kindiki and the Inspector General of Police, IG Koome, Japhet Koome, and he ordered them to create a task force to deal with the demonstrators and also to tame Raila Odinga and his stronghold and people that are supporting him. And that's where came the issue of Raila Odinga's most brilliant MP, Babu Owino, being arrested on Tuesday while Babu Owino was coming from Mombasa at the Kenyatta International Airport. Among the many areas in Nairobi, and the hotspot for AZIMIO UMOJA is in Embakasi East, which Babu Owino is the member of parliament. Now, when the task force was formed by IG Japhet Koome and CS Kithure Kindiki, their main aim was to destroy Raila Odinga's stronghold, so that Raila Odinga will have no power to convince people again to go back to the street for the demonstration, and also make sure that Raila Odinga does not appear in the demonstrations. So when Raila Odinga does not appear in the demonstrations, it means that Raila Odinga has hidden himself from being tortured as he is. Supporters are being tortured in the streets by the police. So the supporters also will have a second thought on continuing to champion for what Raila Odinga had been championing all along, because now they can see that they are all by themselves. You know, Raila Odinga said it's on Wednesday we shall come out. Yeah, he didn't come out on Wednesday. He didn't come out on Thursday, and he did not show himself on Friday. Rumor had it that he was rushed to Nairobi Hospital. After Nairobi Hospital, where Raila Odinga is said to have undergone a heart attack, from Nairobi Hospital, Raila Odinga together with his family flew to Malindi. They went to Malindi for a staycation with his family. Remember, the Odinga family as one of the richest families in the country, so they have resources all over the country. So they have a home in Malindi where they went there to stay and also relax from there, which now is the supporters of Raila Odinga waited on Wednesday, waited on Thursday, waited on Friday. There was no show. Raila Odinga did not show up. Now, when Raila Odinga is not showing up, is man that would have made a show and would have come out in the public to at least rebel against William Ruto and against the killings that were going on from the police was Honorable Babu Owino. Now, Babu Owino was nowhere to be seen. Reason being, he had been taken captive by the police, the Inspector General of Police, I mean the DCI had arrested Babu Owino. Apart from Babu Owino, now the task force next stop was to make sure that they have censored Uhuru Kenyatta's movement. They have censored Uhuru Kenyatta in every way possible to make sure that Uhuru Kenyatta does not come in rescue of Raila Odinga's team this time round. So what they did, if you want to make a Kenyatta family member so immobile, go after their family, go after their kin. So then they went after Uhuru Kenyatta's mother. They withdrew the security of Mama Ngina Kenyatta. Now, if the security of Mama Ngina Kenyatta is withdrawn, at Muthaiga home in Nairobi, Uhuru Kenyatta knows that at any time goons might be said at his mother's home. So the best thing he did is sent his whole security detail to guide the home of Mama Ngina Kenyatta and his mother at Muthaiga and also in Gatundu. So he withdrew his security and handed over his security to Mama Ngina. So his security was the one that was guarding Mama Ngina. So meaning Uhuru Kenyatta was left with the 2 or 3 bodyguards that were guarding him. He was now somebody like Uhuru Kenyatta, former president, being with the 2 or 3 bodyguards, it means he has no security at all. It means he has no security at all. Now, after they realized he has not been intimidated by them going after his mother, so they decided, let's hit where it hurts him most. Hit him in the balls. Now they went after his son, Jomo Kenyatta. Uhuru's firstborn son, Jomo, is a man that has been known to keep off the public eye and to keep off the politics of this nation. So him being brought in made Uhuru realize that these people were ready to go to an extent of making him withdraw from AZIMIO, making him withdraw his support from his support for the for the AZIMIO UMOJA protest and all that. What happened is, first they went ahead and withdrawn the security of Jomo. So meaning Uhuru Kenyatta's son had no security detail. So after withdrawing his security, Jomo, led by his father, went ahead to apply for permits for the license to hold guns, to have their own guns. And Uhuru Kenyatta handed his own personal gun to his son, Jomo, which led people now, which now made the task force to send people at Jomo's house to go ahead and intimidate him. And that's where you heard that there was a raid that was planned at Uhuru Kenyatta's son home, which really became the talk of the town. And this is the raid that forced Uhuru Kenyatta to come out of his hiding and to go ahead and see what they were doing at his son's house. This is what was happening. Uhuru had to react. Uhuru had to realize that the team would go extra miles to make sure that he esteemed, that they have captured him, that they have hit him on the balls, that he will stop supporting Azimio la Umoja. So from now, they have made Uhuru immobile. What else can they do? They decided now, Uhuru Kando. Uhuru has the influence of the Mount Kenya people. Who else has an influence that when he comes out, we will be destroyed, that these demonstrations will take another turn? There is only one man with the great influence of the Mount Kenya people that might cause chaos for us, and that is none other than the former Mungiki leader, Chairman Maina Jenga. Maina Jenga was taken on Thursday at night, and from Thursday at night, Maina Jenga was taken to an unknown location until yesterday on Monday. That's when Maina Jenga was brought to the court. Apart from Maina Jenga, they also realized, Maina Jenga has the influence of the Mungiki people, has the influence of the people of Mount Kenya. So if this man calls out a demo, he comes out and tells, people of Mount Kenya, you know what, we are being killed, we are being humiliated. What should we do? Should we retaliate? The government is pushing us to the wall. Should we retaliate? Let's go back and retaliate. So these people will go back and start fighting with the police, which is something that Ruto did not want. So Ruto had planned, and once you have an operation, you have to bring the best on the table. And this operation had brought the best on the table. Even the National Intelligence Service Director General, Newton Haji, was at the table because they could not function without the intelligence of the National Intelligence Service. They had the DCI Director, Amin Mohammed, was there to supply his intelligence also. The NIS were there. The Kenya, the administration police were there, the AP. And also the Inspector General of Police was there. So they needed every knowledge they could get. You saw the RDU were there, the Rapid Deployment Unit. So meaning they brought the best brains in the Kenyan intelligence service to deal with the situation, because this situation, if Raila Odinga had shown up on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, the demonstrations would have escalated to taking this country down a drain that we have not seen in so many years. That's why I'm telling you, it was a formulated operation to curb AZIMIO la Umoja. And you saw it happened. Raila Odinga never showed, nobody showed. So after arresting Maina Jenga, they took Maina Jenga to an unknown destination. After Maina Jenga, they arrested the Mathare MP. They arrested other people, other small fishes in the sea, but also had an impact. They went ahead to nab Pauline Njoroge in Watamu while she was in an holiday. Pauline is an AZIMIO blogger who has a massive following and an influence over a lot of people on Twitter in regards to what happens in the government. So they tamed the AZIMIO la Umoja team. And let me tell you, it seems that the AZIMIO team is right now immobile. They have no hammer left with them right now on dealing with the government. If you saw Raila Odinga, it's the fear of what might happen if they go to the demonstrations tomorrow. Raila Odinga's lost. It's clear Raila Odinga's lost. It's not a matter of anything. Him going ahead and, he was ready to do anything. But right now, his readiness has been challenged. It seems that he has nothing to deliver to his people. His people have become subjected to a lot of things, which has left him with only one option. I have to call truce. And if the RUTO government had stayed for so long, at least for 5 years, then there would be a room for Raila Odinga to at least have a dialogue with William Ruto. But right now, there is no room for dialogue. The reason being, William Ruto, if he agrees to a dialogue with Raila Odinga, he has kicked out the Mount Kenya region out of his government. Because the Mount Kenya government, the Mount Kenya region leaders, including Rigathi Gachagua, Moses Kuria, Kimani Ichung'wah, Didi Nyoro, and all the rest, Akina Kanini Kega, Akina Sabina Chege, all these people are supporting him because they believe that after the next 10 years, you shall hand over the government to us, and our president will be Rigathi Gachagua. So if William Ruto had agreed or had the slightest idea of a dialogue or an handshake with Raila Odinga, this would have resulted to him becoming a one-term president. And he is not ready to become the man that rules Kenya for only 5 years. He does not want to rule like Donald Trump did. So he will put the cards on the table and deal with you in whatever way he knows best. Yes, he is a man that has been pushed to the wall. Kenyans are suffering. That's right. Kenyans are being intimidated. That's right. It's not a matter of discussion. It's the truth. But now, how do you agree to serve one term? You know, it doesn't matter. I don't know what Raila Odinga had in mind. That, yeah, there is a rumor that Uhuru Kenyatta had pushed that they want the government to be impeached by December this year. But is it possible with a government led by the most political genius that we have in this country so far in the area of politics? You know, Ruto is a political genius, a man that has never been beaten in any election. Having him give up and hand over something that he has worked for so many years until to attain his dream, having him surrender this to you. It's something out of the blues. It can never happen. For now, that's what's up. And this Operation COUP, Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, or Operation Excommunicato Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, became a success, and the task force was congratulated by William Ruto together with the IG and the deputy president yesterday because of the work they did of pressuring Raila Odinga to withdraw the demonstrations, because tomorrow we would be expecting again another demonstrations in town. And you saw the Luo massacre thing, what happened in Nyalenda. The police, after the you know, the task force realized where the energy for Raila Odinga comes from. So to curb Raila Odinga, go hit him also in the balls. Go hit him in Nyalenda. Go hit him in Bondo. So they sent the RDU, the Rapid Deployment Unit, the GSU. Yani, if you look at how those people are being beaten, be sure that these people, it will take them years again to regain their energy to walk. And that's how the government works. That's how the government works. You know, I shall give you examples without the government deals with threats. And I shall that the government of the Israeli government. The Israeli government, Israel is a small nation. But Israel is a small nation with the greatest intelligence network in the world, called the Mossad network. The Mossad intelligence team keeps Israeli on its toes on what is happening in the world, and ensures that the president, the prime minister of Israel remains on his toes, such that whenever a country, small or big, tries to make a nuclear weapon. They have the network to inform them. They have recruited spies, and let me say, spies all over the world. So our government, as the NIS, yes, we are not big, yes, we are local, but one thing be sure is that when it comes to investigation, our country, Kenya, as the best when it comes to investigation. That's why once upon a time, our CID, before it was turned to DCI, was ranked number 3 in the world among the most specialized CIDs in the world. So this the DCI now and the NIS is ready to deal with any threat that might sink this nation to something that we have never expected before, and that is demonstrations would sink us back to violence, chaos, bloodbath. And to deal with that, they had to eliminate the top of the food chain, and that is Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka. All of them were nowhere to be seen, and you will see them now come out, make noise after all of this. So I tell you, never be in support of any side when it comes to this type of politics. You just live your life, because these people will send you to the battlefield. How comes that I'm a general or a commander of a certain unit in an army, and now we are going in the war? Me as the commander, I am the one that is hiding behind. You as my troops are the ones that are taking the battlefield. You are fighting in the front line and I'm hiding behind you. That doesn't make sense. You have to be the one that is standing in front to show us the example that we should follow, that we should fight. And Martha Karua, everybody, every AZIMIO UMOJA principle are nowhere to be found, while there are people who are fighting in the streets and many of them being killed by the police. That's what's up. This is FM Update. Go ahead and subscribe. See you in the next video. My name is Felix Mwenda.